Okay guys, welcome to this video. So today we're going to discuss, something that is not really even on the website, but I feel people might want to know because I've had some couple of emails where people try to ask me, what's the best, kind of, requirements or system requirements or hardware do I need to set up, things like, Wi-Fi hotspot manager and all. So I thought, it would be great to also include that in our course on setting up RADIUSdesk with Red Hat Enterprise Linux on the CentOS distros. So well, for me, system requirements is these days is not really much of a big deal because we have cheap memories and cheap hard drives, stuff that we can afford. So we can afford as much as we can these days, and for me it's kind of reduced the era of where people kind of concentrated on system requirements. Of course, it would be nice for you to know the minimums, right? Because most vendors, what they do is they give you what's called as minimum system requirements, where they tell you this is the minimum hardware requirements that you can have if you want to enjoy or kind of have a better experience running our application or software. So well, for RADIUSdesk, there's really just some little concern as to what you need for system requirements apart from the normal workstations and of course commodity hardware. And for me, the meat of it is all free radios, right? So anything that will run free radios will run RADIUSdesk. So of course, on the next slide, so of course we're looking at small networks, right? So this is the most common deployments I've seen of Wi-Fi hotspot manager or any kind of free radios back end. I've seen people use it from hotel systems or hotels to just a normal airport network to something just small networks. And for me, these days with virtual machines, it doesn't matter what computer you use, as far as you can give it some of this kind of requirements. So for computers, virtual machines or physical machines will serve. For your CPU architecture, come on guys, we have a lot of 64-bit operating systems, and of course the era has moved away from 32 bits now to 64 bits. This is because purely of more resources that we can harness, of course more memory, and of course better stability and speed. And but any 32-bit or 64-bit architecture will do just fine. Your memory requirements, yes, so this is a little bit controversial. You don't really require up to 2 gigs of RAM, but I'm putting 2 gig here or more because RAM is very cheap these days, and if you're really serious about running kind of a network where you want to serve just some clients, 2 gigs of RAM should be a good minimum to start with, of course, or more. So just so you know that if you're going beyond the 4 gig limits, and of course then you need to make sure your hardware is 64-bit. For hard drive or for hard disk space, hard drive is also very cheap. So here I'm putting 20 to 40 gigs as a good minimum. You can have a very cheap 500 gigs of hard drive, and you can spawn or start connect it to a machine that you can use as a server to run RADIUSdesk. So for network card or the NIC card, any NIC card with fast throughput will do. I'm emphasizing faster throughput because you need a lot of this raw power that you need on your network, because by the time you start having a lot of people walk or go through on your network, then of course you don't want a lot of performance kind of glitch happening on your network because of slow throughput between your radio system and of course. Alright, so of course if you're thinking of running Kuva Chili, then Kuva Chili will require minimum of 2 network interface cards, because Kuva Chili will force you to make it look like your gateway. There are newer features on Kuva Chili that allows you to use it just like kind of a layer 3 proxy, where you can have your own router and then of course allow Chili do that. But for me, I don't think it's really stable enough to roll on production, so we're going to use the normal Kuva Chili kind of instance to do that. Well, for web server, this is not really a hardware requirement, or it's just kind of, I'm just putting it here because the most popular web server out there is Apache. Our course is going to concentrate purely or mainly on Apache, but the RADIUSdesk project recommends you use Nginx. So of course there should be a follow-up video that we're going to do after this whole course on how to set it up on Nginx and CentOS. So but for now we're just going to concentrate on Apache. So the note below here just says most of the system resources are taken by Apache, free radios and PHP, and this has always been one of the points of argument as to why Nginx is a better option than Apache, because apart from Apache being the old dog in the house, Nginx kind of promises better performance and of course little kind of RAM or memory footprint. Alright, so of course I just went ahead and kind of drew some sample network diagram for very small networks where you have everything running on one box. Of course, it's going to really concentrate on everything running on one box, but of course you can have ability to scale, and of course you can do that. So you can see here the wireless access points with a lot of clients connecting to the switch, and of course the information is proxied. The release information is proxied back and forth, of course. So that's what we call the NAS, network access server. Of course, you can have switches and just basic network, just two network interface cards running on the server. Of course, you have the one going to the internet, and then of course you have the one running on your local area network. So, but the meat of it is just the box running the system. You can see RADIUSdesk, free radios, Kuva Chili, and the Squidward proxy. This is a common deployment case I've seen, out there. All right, so so the next one here is the large networks. So for large networks, I'm talking about multiple machines here where you have to kind of separate concerns. Pretty much the same kind of requirements as with the small networks, though with some minor tweaks or changes. Of course, virtual machines will do as well if you're running a pure virtual environment, or physical machines if you have some box to spare. You need any 32-bit or 64-bit machine to run part of your applications. You need of course 2 gig or more RAM, hard disk 20 to 40 gigs, or if you're running a very large network, of course then you must have actually also kind of segmented or separated your storage infrastructure. So of course I'm talking of storage area networks or the network attached storage and all that. So of course the NIC still pretty much stays the same, of course dual NICs or more if you're running Kuva Chili. Of course the web server still remains the same. So one of the things you need to take away from here is, since in large networks there is separation of concerns, then dedicated machines are used to kind of offload offload most of your resource utilization. So you're talking of multiple machines taking care of different parts of the network. So you have a machine dedicated to RADIUSdesk, you have a machine dedicated to free radios, you have a machine dedicated to Kuva Chili, and of course you have different machines dedicated to different services. So of course this is a common kind of deployment I've seen where you have kind of an internal private network that connects your Kuva Chili Squid proxy to a RADIUSdesk system, and of course a free radios server. Of course you can still go ahead and separate the servers running the Kuva Chili and of course the Squidward proxy. So of course what you're now saying is everything is dedicated to its own process, and of course you can decide to scale based on the system utilization of any of the services. So of course this one is a larger network, because here talking of a large amount of local area network clients. So in this case you can see is running in 92.1 trunk link between the Kuva Chili box and VLAN capable switch, and of course different VLANs running on different networks. So pretty much this is majority of the kind of things you will be delving at once you kind of decide to roll this up in production or in your own kind of corporate environment. So hopefully this video has kind of made sense to you, and if there are additions or things we can add or stuff so we don't know about or we didn't mention in this video, then of course you can go ahead and mention it in the blog or forums where this video course will be posted. So hopefully this has been so very informative, and if you kind of wish or kind of like to add some topics in future videos or future courses, then let me know, and of course we can go ahead and roll out a video on that. So thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video.